Ganu gods and goddesses, kings and queens. Ganu is God in you. The Nafs green family allies enemies. What's happening? Slip double, right? So look. So here we go again. Hopefully this is the charm. So periodic table. I'm gonna go through these. I went to a homeschooling thing. I was a big in homeschooling, and these are the things that I was gonna teach my boys. Pretty much at the age to start learning this now. But when I bought it, they wasn't. So me thinking for the future. But I'm cleaning up and moved my office. Found it again. Forgot I had it. But the periodic table is something that I want to learn. My father said, if you ever want to learn something, teach it. And I didn't understand that concept, but now I understand it. These are things I want to learn as well. So I grabbed it to be able to teach it. Periodic table. Something good that everybody should have in their house to be able to know a little bit about it. Atom. Now, knowing about these and just judging from this, oxygen 16, it says mass number, the number of the protons plus neutrons. So 16 protons and neutrons. So if I count these, it should be 16. Now, to be able to understand the mass numbers of each element on the periodic table is priceless, homie. I seen his brother teaching his son that, and he was using grapes, like red grapes and green grapes. You know what I mean? And it was excellent, homie. And I said to myself, I need to learn that. Now, a lot of y'all may be looking at this like states of matter, solid, liquid, gases, and be like, what does that even matter? Why do I don't even need to learn none of that. Now, let me explain something to you. You feel me? Right now, I get above $25 an hour. And I understand this, and I apply this to what I do at work. You feel me? So the liquids and gases, for example, in refrigeration, you understand that your liquid go from a low pressure, low temperature liquid to a high pressure, high temperature, low pressure, low temperature vapor to a high pressure, high temperature vapor. And there's something that what they call the theoretical discharge temperature. And I forgot exactly why it's the theoretical discharge temperature, but that's basically the temperature that it goes from compression to the height of its compression. That's the highest temperature that it would be within the refrigeration process when it goes through the discharge, the condenser. And the condenser basically is where it goes through the process of removing heat energy. When you know anything about heat, and it's crazy that you start to study heat, it's like it start to move. Heat is real energy and it's violent, right? So you start thinking about boiling water, for example, it start to pop and jump. Boiling grease, it pops, it jump when it got that heat energy in it. That's the same thing when you start looking at the liquids and gases. So for example, when it gets a lot of heat energy, it goes into a gas, it boils. Then when you condense it, it condenses and lose heat energy, it goes back into a liquid. It's the same thing with the condensing, and it's called, I forgot the name when it's called when you get clouds and precipitation. There's a particular process that is called when water evaporates and turns into clouds. I forgot it. My bad. The solar system. I cannot name all the planets of the solar system right now, but let's do it. So we have Mercury, inner planets. So inner planets is the planets closest to the sun. I just found that out talking to you. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Cyrus, I believe that's Ceres, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Those are the outer planets. Then they got dwarf planets, Pluto, Eris. You feel me? And hopefully I pronounced all those right. If I didn't, please text down and tell me what I pronounced wrong and tell me how to pronounce it. I love being corrected. I do, because it helped me learn. Plus it challenges me to get better. The engineering process. This is a process I want my baby boys to understand. Brainstorm, design, build, analyze, modify, share. Brainstorm. And it's constantly in that. See, and this is the thing. When you understand simple processes like this, you understand that when you learn something, it doesn't stop your education. Because it goes right back, after you share your information, it goes right back into brainstorming. So, for example, me and a homeboy going back and forth with this Native American African thing. And I'm constantly in this process of trying to build information. This could be not just building a machine. This could be building information, building a society, just engineering process. Social engineering. There's different types of engineering. Feel me? Don't look at something and think that that's all it's for. All right. So I want to. There's two things I want to talk to you about when it comes to this. So one, when you start talking about the circulatory system of the blood, that's pretty much like the refrigeration process. So the refrigeration process have a low pressure and a high pressure, just like in the veins in the body have a low pressure and high pressure. It is separated by the heart, which is the pumping, and which is the compressor on the refrigeration system. And it also have capillary tubes. Capillary tubes brings from the high pressure to a low pressure. It's the same thing that happens inside of a refrigeration system. Now I can't now hold on, let me stop. The capillary tubes in the body may be something different, but in the refrigeration system it may act different. I haven't researched the capillary tubes, but when I researched that a little bit, it's like, wow, damn, that's just like refrigeration system. And when we start talking about the intestines, the small intestines with the larger intestines in the stomach and things of that nature, that's just like a boiler. When you look at the boilers in manufacturing, the boilers is pretty much the same thing. And that's just pretty much just like a boiler to me. But anyway, the systems, they correlate. But anyway, so when we start talking about the ascending, transverse, and descending colon, when we start now the sigmoid, rectum, I mean the rectum and the anus, we understand that part, but the sigmoid, I can't understand that part, and the flexures and the sphincters, and I can't explain that yet. But I understand the difference of this. And the one thing I do know, that if your feces in your body move too fast through this, it's called diarrhea. You end up having diarrhea. Why do you have diarrhea? That's because the waste of your body is moving so fast to where that this organ right here pretty much pulls liquid out of the feces and utilizes in your body. So what you consider waste, like shit, if you take some diarrhea, you wouldn't thinking about getting water out of diarrhea and using it, but your body does. Your body take water out of the feces and uses in your body. That is crazy. And it's a little bitty book on the shelf like this. I should have grabbed it before I even did this video so I could show you. But yeah, just to have this and to understand the difference of this, and I need to be able to explain this more so I could go through all these and be able to explain it more. But if you press me to it, I will end up going through it for you. It will make me get back in my books. Money. To understand the concept of money. Now, even though we're moving towards a cashless society, everybody moving towards card, just to understand this concept, you got to understand that this is a concept. It's not so much per se about the money itself. It's understanding the concept so your children can be able to go out there and better understand how to operate in the world, understanding the basics. They say if you watch your pennies, your dollars will stay in check. I'm going to say that again. If you watch your pennies, your dollars will stay in check, because it takes a penny to make a dollar. It starts at a penny. So when you make sure that your pennies are right, then you won't lose dollars. When you make sure your dollars are right, you won't lose hundreds. When you make sure your hundreds are right, you won't lose thousands. When your thousands are right, you won't lose hundreds of thousands. So it starts at the base level penny. So this is a concept that we want to be able to get and teach our children and explain it and understand it. Think like a proton. Electrons are negative, protons are positive, neutrons are neutral. To be able to understand that, and I'm not for, is it the proton, like different amount of protons and neutrons? How it depends on how many of them are in there for it to be what type of on the periodic table. And this is like the basis of life. Then when you understand the basics, it could take you in so many different directions. And correct me if I'm wrong. It's all good. I'm with that. Things good writers do. Preview, question, predict, infer. It says connect, summarize, and evaluate. So this is one of the, good readers. My bad. I said good writers, because writers is the next one. That is crazy, because I seen that when I was flipping it over, and it subconsciously picked it up. But these are the things good readers do. So if you could start taking down these concepts before you even start to read a book and understand this, if you was to get this and memorize this and understand this is what good readers do, then you could become a good reader, even an excellent reader. And this is good writers. Now, my team developed naturally just by me. I just got an Instagram like a couple of months ago. I'm telling you, like no more than like 3, maybe 4 months ago, I just got an Instagram, and I got a team right now. I'm meeting brothers and sisters that are serious about this, and I just started on this Black Power banging, and they like, look, we could do something with this. I'm like, well, whatever y'all want to do. I'm just following their lead. I'm a follower in this because I'm with whoever trying to make something happen. I ain't pushing myself as a leader. I'm the follower. You feel me? So pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, publishing. So to understand that, and this is a process I'm going to have to take to start doing my videos, to be able to do more professional videos. Renewable energy. Understand the difference of renewable energy. Geothermal, wow, that's cool. Wind, solar, hydro, biomass. Now, hydro is going to be something that's hard for us to do unless we buy a stream. But these other ones like wind and solar, we are really going to be able to utilize these. Now, biomass, I don't know what kind of biomass. I have to do some more studying on that to be able to understand that. But just to understand these things and understand how we can utilize these, and I believe each home is going to have to become its own industrial plant. We're going to have to industrialize the homes. I feel that that's where we're going in the future. That every home is going to have to be industrial. You have to have somebody that know how to fix electrical motors, that know how to purify water. Every home is going to need that person. Longitude and latitude. How much time I got? Longitude and latitude is something that the flat earthers don't want to. That I don't think they believe in this. I don't know. So if the earth is flat and it's ice around the earth, when the sun travels around the earth, why it don't melt the ice? I don't know. And how is it? I mean, it'd be the hottest point would be in the center. So I just don't understand the flat earthers. But longitude and latitude. If you're a flat earther, you might not want to teach your children this. Layers of the earth. To understand the different layers of the earth. Yeah, I mean, what is the purpose of the layers of the earth? Or what do we know, or we hypothesize the purpose of the layers of the earth? Or can we learn this? Can we get to this? Can we utilize this? How does this help us? You feel me? But just to know the different layers of the earth and how thick the earth is, that's some good information to know. It's random when you're dealing with average people that want to watch men in tight pants like football, chase balls. What is this? Photosynthesis. Understand that photosynthesis take place and that the plant grow down before it grow up. To be able to understand this, what is this? 6CO2, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 6 molecules of water produces equal 6CO2H12, 1 molecule of glucose, and 6 molecules of oxygen. Look, just to be able to understand that. You feel me? This is a whole nother language there. And if you have this just posted up in your house, subconsciously your children will learn this language. Now check this out. I had did a video on this, and it's crazy that I ended up running into this. I forgot I bought this. But I did. I had bought this to be able to teach the children. And this is a Halloween prop and decoration, but it's going to be able to teach my children the bones. I originally bought this one. This is a smaller one I could let them have at their desk, but that's going to help me be able to teach them the bones, and it also helped me learn the bones myself because I cannot name all those that are on here, and I should be able to. Now this is the main reason why I'm doing this. This is the scientific method. My homeboy didn't understand the scientific method, and one of his homeboys didn't understand the scientific method, and he had thought it was different scientific method for like rocks, water, dirt, wind. But the scientific method is the method itself, and this is the scientific method. So let's go over this real quick. The scientific method, purpose. What do I want to learn? So you got to have a purpose when you start to go through this. So if you want to learn something, what do you want to learn? Research. Find out as much about the topic as you can. So when you start to research what you want to learn, you want to find out as much as you can about the topic. Then hypothesis. After you learn as much as you can about the topic, you want to come up with your own thoughts about this particular thing. Predict what the answer is and the problem is. Experiment. Design a test to confirm or disprove the experiment. You want to be able to experiment. Now, white supremacy pretty much locked down experimentation when it comes to us experimenting. Analyst. You want to be able to analyze what happens during the experiment, be able to write it down to your conclusion. What happens to your hypothesis, and is it correct? So to be able to understand this is major. And this is one thing that the powers that be keep us away from and don't want us to have control of. So when we start looking at this thing, we pretty much want to start be able to go through these things ourselves. Hang them up on your walls. Let your school be the institution to where your children leave out your home. They leave out educated, whether they know it or not. These are the things that we need to do. Our homes got to double as our learning institution. We talk about building schools. Nation building starts at home. Look, I'm just a gangbanger that read, and I need you to challenge me to make me really want to gangbang and learn. But y'all stay safe. Power to the people. African or nothing.